Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. Time for a little Pekka talk with my guy, Gery Woelfel from the Racine Journal-Times. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from Sports Radio 105.7 FM, the fan, co-host of the Wendy's Big Show weekday afternoons from 2 until 6 in the afternoon. In fact, we'll be at Racine Automotive on Friday. How about that? Friday the 14th.
How long are you going to be there?
From 2 to 6 we'll be there.
Nice.
And Robert's Specialty Meats from up in Waukesha is coming down. Yes. And they're cooking up some food.
They're at the golf outings.
Right, at our golf outing over here.
Awesome.
They're coming down and cooking up lunch and food for everybody. They're going to have beef jerky there for everybody.
I love that stuff, really.
They're going to have corn in a cup from somebody else is going to be there doing corn in a cup like you get this.
Wait a second, they're going to be there the whole time?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Save me a seat.
I've said it before, if you live down in the Racine, Kenosha area, I said yesterday in the air, and you've never experienced Robert's Specialty Meats, you have to at least come experience it at Racine Automotive Group on Friday. Because they are the most popular hole at our golf outing.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
The line just backs up.
Next to throwing pies at you.
Next to throwing pies at me. Right. So there you go. There's a plug for the big show out there. Racine Automotive Group on Friday. All right, so this is the deal. The Green Bay Packers rolled out the helmets and crushed the Chicago Bears.
You just brought up a topic with me. What did we talk about last week on the Packers segment?
What did we talk about?
Unleashing the beast.
Yeah, and they didn't.
No.
They didn't unleash the beast. Eddie Lacy didn't do anything.
No.
You're right. They didn't unleash anything.
I said they should let Rodgers throw and throw, and guess what they did?
They did.
Thank you.
They crushed them.
Now, I'm not advocating this every game, but I did last week.
Okay.
Because the Bears secondary is horrible.
And they won. And we both said that the Packers should win pretty handily. I said 41-24, I think was my prediction. Bears couldn't even score 24 points, obviously. But everybody wants to know, okay, Clay Matthews goes to middle linebacker. Okay. But wait a second. So the Bears didn't have success running the football.
Right.
But was that because of Clay inside, or was that because you got out to such an early lead that they just gave up running?
You know what I'd like to see somebody do? One of the 8,000 guys that cover the Packers, break down how many plays Matthews played inside, okay, and how many plays he played on the outside. Because every time Chris Collinsworth goes, yeah, he's playing inside all the time, I saw him lying down the outside.
From what I was told, Clay Matthews played nickel. In the nickel package is when he played inside.
Okay, but I'll bet he played at least 50% on the outside.
Well, in dime situation, he was playing outside.
I mean, but again,
nickel inside, dime outside, and they didn't run any base.
The perception was that he was a middle linebacker like the whole game.
No,
he wasn't even close to being.
When McCarthy was asked that about on Monday, he's like, "Well, I don't want to call him a middle linebacker."
Right, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, but is this defense better with him and A.J. Hawk inside and Nick Perry outside?
No, because I think it worked against the Bears because they caught him off guard, and I think
because really what you're asking yourself is, how much of a drop-off is there between Clay Matthews and Nick Perry?
Right.
And how much of a drop-off is there between Clay Matthews and Sam Barrington or Lattimore or Brad Jones?
My biggest beef with Clay Matthews, and I mean it's not mine, it's everybody's. They know this. He has a tough time being physical. Mm-hmm. If he gets locked up with tackles, he's a
tough time shutting
he's ineffective.
Yeah,
when you're in the middle and all of a sudden you got a guard coming at you and a center coming at you, good luck with that. They're going to exploit that too.
You know, and that's something we had Brian Noble on, the former Packer linebacker, talking about this transition, and we had him on earlier this week, and he said that is the biggest thing with Clay because he's not that heavy, but he has to be able to shed blockers in order to play well at that position. Now, I'm driving in here to the Racine Journal-Times to do the show today, and boop, up on my Twitter.
Oh, you ran into Brian Noble?
No. No, he lives out in Vegas now.
He does. Yeah. Good for him.
It pops up on my Twitter, Pro Football Talk. Casey Matthews says Clay Matthews doesn't like playing inside linebacker.
Well, of course, because I think teams...
Can I just ask a question? How many relatives have to come out and say things publicly before they all realize they're all a bunch of idiots?
Well, I agree with that.
Seriously.
I agree.
Every time, and I swear to God, it happens with the Packers more than any other team.
You should hear. You should hear the thing your brother says about you.
But think about it. Derrick Rose with the Bulls. His brother comes out, japping his jaws.
Right.
Greg Jennings' sister. That was another one.
Right.
I mean, at some point, just hush. Okay, maybe Clay doesn't like it.
But it's a great story. I'm happy for that. I love hearing those things.
Yeah, because you're media guy.
Yeah, well, so are you. So
sure, but
I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it right now if not for.
But it just adds more friction and unnecessary distractions to a locker room that doesn't need it. It's true. It does. I mean, it does. Because
but if that's the truth, Clay Matthews should come out and say.
Because now you know what's going to happen, right?
You know how he can win the PR battle? He comes out and says, you know what? I really don't like playing middle linebacker, but you know what? It's helping the team. And all of a sudden, Clay Matthews is the greatest, right?
But if I'm Mike McCarthy, Clay, come in my office, shut the door.
He what?
If I'm Mike McCarthy, I tell Clay, come in the office, shut the door. And then I go to Clay, tell your brother, shut up. That's all. Now you can leave. That's it. I mean, just shut it. Zip it. I don't want to hear about it. So I'm not a big fan of that. But anyways, so next up, the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Now, this Eagles team crushed, and I mean crushed, the Carolina Panthers. Mark Sanchez, in my opinion, looked pretty good.
He looked really good.
Right. So
I was like, oh, absolutely.
Now,
I mean, that bomb he threw to Macklin, I mean, it was a gorgeous pass.
And he had one drive where he threw to Matthews the entire drive, Jordan Matthews, all the way down the field. It was just him and Sanchez. They also got a couple offensive linemen back, two of their better run blockers. Right. So that should get LaShawn McCoy going on the ground as far as that goes. I anticipate a shootout of all shootouts between the Packers
and Philly. Could this be a preview to the NFC Championship game?
No.
You don't think so?
I still think it's Dallas.
Everything has gone well for Dallas. Until they prove it.
Unless
I have become so skeptical with that team.
Unless DeMarco Murray
imploded sometime.
Unless DeMarco Murray gets hurt.
Right.
I think they're going to be there.
Their defense is god-awful. They haven't been really exploited yet.
They've been way better than everybody thought.
I agree.
From the beginning of the year, people were saying this could be the worst defense in NFL history because of all the injuries they suffered in preseason. And now you fast forward and look and going, hey, they're doing enough to win football games.
Okay, I got a little stat for you. Compliments of Sports Weekly. Okay? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers' passing rating is what? Any idea?
120.
120. League leading, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Third highest right now all time behind Aaron Rodgers, who set his own record at 122.8.
Very good, Mr. Statistician.
Was that what you were going to tell me?
No. That's not what I'm going to tell you. What do you think his passer rating, which is, first of all, 120 is off the charts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Third highest of all time.
What do you think his passer rating is at Lambeau Field?
At Lambeau Field, what's he throwing, like 20... What is it? 24 touchdowns to no interceptions.
5 seconds.
I don't know. What?
140.
That's really
140. I mean, it's like you're perfect every game, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So do you think it's a shootout and a Packers victory?
I do think it's going to be a shootout. I don't know. I think this is going to be a heck of a game from a fan standpoint because you're going to see a lot of points on the board. And... don't you think it's going to be like a 42-35 type of game?
Yep. Agreed.
A lot of points, but...
I'm going to say 41-38 Pack.
Well, that's ballpark.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Philadelphia, believe it or not, is actually favored in this game.
I haven't looked at the points.
Yeah, somebody told me they were favored by like 5-6 points.
Really?
Which is a testament to the Packers' porous defense.
Well, it makes more sense than some of the college football spreads I've seen for this weekend. Florida State is like a 1-point favorite over Miami. Why? How is that not more than one?
Exactly. What's going on there?
Alabama's playing the number one team in the country, and Alabama's favored by like 7?
Absolutely.
Mississippi State?
Absolutely. You know what? I would put every penny I had on Alabama beating them. Every penny.
I'm a huge Alabama fan, and I wouldn't touch that bet.
But you know what? One thing I like about the Eagles, too, is they got playmakers. I mean, across the board. You know who's really helped them? Is Sproles.
Absolutely.
You know, and I've been saying this for 2
And who's going to cover Sproles out of the backfield?
Precisely. Macklin, they got McCoy, they got guys that can break the game open. You look at the Packers, do they really have a big...
Jordy. That's Cobb can be.
But not on the same level as those guys. I mean, they're so fast that they'll break a game open, and that's what the Packers got to be fearful of. You can't let those guys get open, and that's not easy to do.
No, that's why I think it's going to be a shootout, because I think both defenses are going to have problems stopping both offenses. So what's your prediction?
Wow, I've been thinking about this. I'll say the Eagles, like 42-35.
Eagles win.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the Packers 41.
Because I'm not sold on the Packers defense. I mean, they played the Bears, and everybody's going gaga over Matthews. But when Philadelphia comes to town and they spread everybody out and they isolate guys, the Packer linebacking core, as I've said all year, is just horrible.
All right, so he takes the Eagles, I take the Packers. We'll see which one is right. And the big show again, Racine Automotive Group on Friday. We'll see you out there from 2 until 6. Leroy Butler, Gary Ellerson, myself, and of course the Bear fan, Rami Makloff.
And Olivia Munn is still beautiful, contrary to what you think.
I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, even if she wasn't a celebrity and she was just at a bar. I wouldn't.
I'll tell you what, you got ultra high standards.
No, I just say I have a difference in opinion on women. That's all.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. This is Gery Woelfel.
We won't go into that. That'll be the next segment.
It's Aaron Rodgers' girl.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's why he's the man.
Yeah. Gery Woelfel, obviously Sparky Fifer. Enjoy the rest of your day. You've just seen another edition of Sports Junkies here at RacinSportsZone.com. Peace.
Peace. I thought you said toodaloo or something.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. There you go.